Hello and welcome to the Front Office Podcast. I am your host, Marcus Cameron. And as always, the show is sponsored by Tees and Trees Clothing. Tees and Trees is where we stand on business. Good evening, good morning, whatever time you view the episode. We appreciate all the new subscribers, all the current subscribers. Appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Y'all make sure y'all click, like, and subscribe. We had a good night of basketball tonight. I was 1 for 2 on my picks, puts me at 17-11, which is still a good number. I thought tonight would have went a little differently, honestly. We'll start with the Knicks and Magic and Cavs, and then we'll go to the last game, the Bucks and the Pacers, and then we'll briefly talk about the Nuggets and Lakers series. All right, so let's get straight to it, man. Before we do, make sure you guys, if you're already following the YouTube channel, make sure you follow the Instagram page, High Skies Visions, as well as the Facebook page, the Front Office Podcast. That is where we do our picks, put a lot of our reels, things of that nature, man. So the support is much appreciated. Knicks and the Sixers. Knicks fans, I just made a whole reel shouting y'all out because y'all been calling me out. You never picked the Knicks. I picked Philly to win this series, by the way. It's not going to be 4-2 because the Knicks already won 3, but that was a choke job. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, it's not. That was a choke job. Up 5 with a minute to go. That's not good ball handling. That's not good management of the basketball. That's not good clock management. That is a series that y'all literally just let slip through y'all fingers, and it shouldn't have happened. Shout out to Tyrese Maxey. I got a partner, man, and I always tell y'all about my friends, man, but he has been big on Maxey for a long time. Maxey was a beast tonight. I think he gave him 46. I don't know how many assists. He definitely covered on Prize Picks on points, rebounds, and assists. He was amazing. That three-pointer that he hit to send the game into overtime was crazy. Logo range. Logo range. I don't understand why they didn't foul in that particular situation. I think they just was a little punch drunk, but Knicks in trouble a little bit. The Knicks are in trouble a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong. The Knicks are very capable of going into Philly on Thursday night and getting a win and ending the series. Very capable. Their situation is a little different than Indiana's situation. Indiana was up 3-1 playing on the road in the Bucks. They get game 6 at their house. Y'all get game 6 in Philly. And y'all fans was acting an ass after y'all beat them the last game. That Philly crowd is going to be turned up. So it'll be interesting to see. Like I said, I got Philly winning the series. But I did pick the Knicks tonight, and they definitely let me down. So just like I shot y'all out when y'all do something good, Carlos, Ken Nixon, Kenneth Pompey, make sure y'all chime in, man. Chime in. Don't chime in when you win, and get lost when you lose. All right, that ain't 100. The next game, man, was the Magic and the Cavs. That game was a lot closer than I thought it would be. Orlando is a really good team. I've said it from the beginning. I think they're better than Cleveland. I just think Cleveland has a little bit more veteran leadership. Now, Cleveland was playing without Jared Allen tonight, and they just found a way to win. That's why I think they're going to win the series. It was right there for Orlando. Banchero had an amazing game, played great. Orlando just has really good pieces. I just think they're really, really young. This is their first time in the playoffs. Not a lot of expectations. Hell, the NBA don't even put it on TNT, and ABC, they just put their games on NBA TV like it don't even matter. So you know that nobody's paying attention to the series. But Cleveland, sometimes they look great. They look like a real, a team that's, can really cause problems for another team in the East. But then they have these just lapses where they just look mediocre. Even with Donovan Mitchell on the floor, they just look mediocre, and that's not going to get it in the playoffs. But, it was a big win tonight. You did what you're supposed to do, took care of home court. Now you got to play in Orlando on Thursday. It should be a good game. I think the playoffs are ramping up right now. I'm kind of glad these series are getting extended a little bit. I know the second round starts this weekend regardless, I believe, unless there's some game sevens. Yeah, if there's some game sevens, then whoever series gets game seven is probably going to get pushed to Monday. But again, they might make them go back to back. But I know if Philly wins on Thursday, they probably play again on Saturday, game seven. Now they might back game seven up to Sunday. You know, the NBA is a little tricky with shit like that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. You know what I mean? But anyway, Cleveland's up 3-2. I had them winning the series 4-2. We'll see how it plays out. The last actually active game of the night was the Pacers and the Bucks. Knicks let me down tonight, but the Pacers just laid a fucking egg. They were horrible. Really let a situation slip out of their hands, and that's how you know it's a young team too, because they are looking at it just like I said. We up 3-1 going to Milwaukee. We lose, we get to come back to the house. This is the problem. There's been reports, and I don't know how true it is. We'll see how it plays out, that Dame and Giannis are going to play in Game 6. That's a problem. If they get Dame and Giannis, that's an even series now. That's an even series. I don't give a damn how many games they down. If Dame is somewhat healthy and Giannis is looking like Giannis, that changes the entire complexity of that series. Now, you know, if y'all go back to before the playoffs started, I picked the Bucks to win the series, but I didn't expect them to get hurt. And I honestly thought the Pacers was just going to run away with it. I thought they would close out tonight. They let me down as well. Shout out to the Pacers. They're going to have to figure that shit out. You know what I mean? I think Halliburton is really more hurt than he's letting on, because he has spurts when he just looks like Halliburton from early in the year, and then he has spurts when he just doesn't even want to touch the ball, which I know means that something's wrong with him. I think it's that back probably spasm, and it's just causing his movement to be not what he wants it to be. But no excuses, you know, next man up. Shout out to the Bucks. Big win. Bobby Portis. Huge game. After getting kicked out, huge game. Huge game. You gotta give credit where credit's due. Malik Beasley. Never seen him shoot like that. When he played for the Lakers, he couldn't find the fucking basket. But now he's a fucking sniper. And you know, it just might, you know, some players need to change a scenery to be better. You know, there's a lot of lights over there in LA, man. There's a lot of pressure. It's a media circus. Everybody doesn't thrive in that environment. And he looks great with the Bucks. I mean, he's been shooting it well all year long. I'm not saying he's playing at all-star level, but those are the type of players that you need, and you need them to play like that in order to be able to win a championship. That was a big win for Milwaukee tonight. Now, again, the Pacers are up 3-2, can easily close out when they go home. But, man, if they get Dame and Giannis, I just think they're going to have something to say about that. I really do. So we'll see how that plays out. The last topic of discussion for you LeBron haters, I didn't get a chance to actually do an episode since Denver closed out LA 4-1. But I'm gonna go ahead and speak my thoughts on it now. Shout out to the Denver Nuggets, man. They're the better team. I've said it multiple times. They're the best team in the West. The Denver Nuggets are the best team in the West. I don't care what that record says. No disrespect to OKC. No disrespect to Minnesota, who I really like. But they're better than everybody else. Now, as far as that series is concerned, I thought the Lakers played well. They played well for 3 quarters, 3 out of 4 quarters in 4 of those 5 games. I think the second game is the only one. Is it the second game or the first game? I think the first game is the one where they actually got blowed out a little bit. But, yeah, that's when Denver walked them down in the third quarter. But, I mean, my thoughts on the situation, of course, LeBron left everybody hanging, which, you got to understand, man, like at this point in time in his career, 21 years in, he knows how to play the media game. He knows how to play the media game. I don't have a doubt in my mind that LeBron will be back, barring any type of life-changing event, God forbid, but he's going to play with Team USA this summer. That's a lot of recruiting, a lot of wheeling and dealing. constructed right now, no, that's not a championship team. I thought Rob Pelinka didn't do a good job at the trade deadline. It's already reports that Darvin Ham is out as coach. I'm not sure if that's the fix, but I can't say that he actually helped them win games. I like Darvin Ham. I think he's a good guy, but at the end of the day, it is about championships over there. It's about championships, and they're going to fire a coach. And that doesn't mean his coaching career is over with. Kobe had Mike Brown fired 5 games into the season. Mike Brown won Coach of the Year last year, I believe, with the Sacramento Kings. So it's not that it's not a good coach. It's just some franchises don't have time to wait for a coach to develop, or even players for that matter. And I think that's the situation the Lakers are in. They took Jalen Hood Schifino in the draft. I thought it was a good draft pick. 6'4" kid. He can handle the ball. He can shoot. He never fucking plays. And I'm not in practice every day. I'm not sure if he's struggling or he can't play defense or what the issue is, but he never fucking plays. The Christie kid never fucking plays. They have pieces. Cam Reddish. I mean, they got pieces, but they're gonna have to revamp. I'm not sure if going to find a free agent is the key, but I mean that's just the situation they in. As far as LeBron actually forcing them to draft Bronny, I don't think that's what Bronny wants. And I think LeBron is going to do what is best for Bronny and what he wants to do. I'm not sure. Goddamn, Mike just falling down. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that situation, but I do know LeBron is a pretty good dad from what I can see. I mean, unless there's some behind the scenes shit going on, like he's a good dad, and a good dad is going to always want to do what their son wants to do. You know, he's going to want to try to guide him. He's going to try to get him in the right direction, but at the same time, he's still going to have to let him be a man, and I think that's probably going to be the situation. Just one quick other note. I don't think Bron's retiring or anything like that, but I will say this. And I'm not sure if it's a lot of people that believe this. I think the era of the big three is about to be over. And what I mean by big three is, I mean, these teams putting 3 superstars on one team. It hasn't worked. I mean, it worked for LeBron and Kyrie and Kevin Love. That worked. The big three in Miami, that worked. The big three in Boston, that worked. All of these teams that are at the top, like they've built their teams through the draft, crafty trades, free agent pickup here and there. Boston drafted Jaylen Brown, drafted Jason Tatum. OKC didn't draft Shea Alexander, crafty trade. Drafted Chet, drafted Jalen Williams. Minnesota drafted Cat, drafted Anthony Edwards. Denver drafted Jokic, drafted Murray. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we're going to see that formula work anymore just because it's so much talent. And I still say Anthony Davis and LeBron James is probably top 5 duo in the NBA. And it's just not good enough. It's really not good enough. And I think that's where the NBA is going. You're starting to see a lot more talent just spread out all over the place. I mean, Ja Morant came from Murray State. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody checking for Murray State, but he was the number 2 draft pick. The game is expanding, and this is what I mean by how you view the game. How you view the game is how you view it. If you want to view it and the only picture of the game or the only understanding of the game that you have is 1990 or 1993, and you can't appreciate you won't be able to appreciate what's going on now. You'll just say, oh, they don't play defense. Those guys aren't as good as those guys, blah, 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 blah. But if you actually see what's going on, man, it's so much talent in the league right now. The West is stacked, and the East is no cakewalk. The East is no cakewalk, man. So I'm excited, honestly. I think the Denver and Minnesota series is going to be great. I can't wait for it to start on Saturday, man. Just a quick episode. It's your boy Marcus, man, Front Office Podcast, T's and Trees, the clothing line. Check in with y'all on Sunday, man. Peace.